Today we are taking up H.L.V. Derozio as an Indo-Anglian writer. So first we see the life and works of Derozio. He was born on 18th April 1809 and he passed away on 26th December 1831 at an age when he was barely 22. He was an Indian poet and assistant headmaster of Hindu College, Kolkata, a radical thinker and one of the first Indian educators to disseminate Western learning and science among the young men of Bengal. In May 1826, at the age of 17, he was appointed teacher in English literature and history at the new Hindu College. Derozio's intense zeal for teaching and his interactions with students created a sensation at Hindu College. His students came to be known as Derosians. He organized debates where ideas and social norms were freely debated. In 1828, he motivated them to form a literary and debating club called the Academic Association. Derozio lived a simple yet courageous life. He was brave and noble even in death. The poet's grave seems to echo his thought, where he wrote, "There all in silence, let him sleep his sleep." Now, a bit more about Derozio. Derozio was generally considered an Anglo-Indian. He was of a mixed parentage. His father was actually Portuguese, his mother was an Indian, but he was fired by a patriotic spirit for his native place Bengal and considered himself an Indian. Derozio was perhaps the first nationalist poet of modern India. Derozio wrote many wonderful poems in English before his untimely death. His poems are regarded as an important landmark in the history of patriotic poetry in India. Derozio was influenced by the Romantics, notably Byron, Scott, Moore, as well as Shelley and Keats. He was very fond of the sonnet form. Derozio was influenced by the Romantics to the extent that he wrote a series of 5 sonnets addressed to Night that have some really nice lines. Swift as the dark eyes glance or falcon's flight, thought comes on thought, awakened by the night. Now we'll look at Derozio's patriotism. The plight of India under the Britishers brought out some of the most patriotic poems where he apostrophizes his country. He professes to sing in defense for his country till his dying breath. He wrote lyrics and sonnets which are very articulative. His most ambitious work is the Fakir of Janghira. Patriotism is the main inspiration in every vein of his poem. He is the first to sing of freedom that infuses the soul. His poetic outburst is in the light of the Renaissance was most remarkable part of his patriotic feelings. He planted the seeds of patriotism in the minds of his pupils and his countrymen. His poems are full of patriotism and nationalism. His poems include The Harp of India, To India, My Native Land, Evening in August, The Fakir of Janghira, The Eclipse, Song of the Indian Girls are Indian in content, theme and imagery despite the influence of the English Romantics. In The Harp of India, natural imagery represents the lost glories of this colonized country in the past, using words like withered bough, ruined monument, desert plain. India, his country, remains a harp, a defrauded harp because of colonization. In To India, My Native Land, Derozio shows his devotion to his native land and his concern over the loss of his country's freedom. The native land is perceived first as a deity and next as an eagle whose pinions have been chained to force it to the lowly dust. Evening in August depicts the bounties of nature generated by the river Ganga. He wrote a variety of poems. Derozio wrote narrative poems such as The Fakir of Janghira, Ada, The Enchantress of the Cave, nationalistic sonnets like Harp of India, The Broken Harp, To India, My Native Land. He also translated the odes of Persian Hafiz, among others. There are poems like Evening in August, Morning After a Storm, Dust, Tonight, The Golden Vase, To the Moon, To the Rising Moon, Poetic Haunts, A Dramatic Sketch, Dust, A Walk by Moonlight, Leaves, which lucidly signify the concept of nature in his poetic creations. Now we'll see the reasons for the Romantic influence on Derozio. First of all, Derozio's education at Drummond's Academy, where he studied English, was a possible influence. Many of his poems reflect the effects of learning English language, science, logic, and English literature. Secondly, Derozio's own habit of extensive reading of English, especially literature. Thomas Edwards notes that his library had all the latest books published from Britain. It included reading of poets like Elia, later known as Mrs. Maclean, Thomas Campbell, Robert Southey, and Thomas Moore, as well as William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, Lord Byron, P.B. Shelley, and Keats. Derozio had a lot of love for nature also. He appreciated the detailed presentation of nature. He imitates nature as described by first and second generation romantic poets and strives to experience nature as they experienced it. Derozio's interest in nature of India must have been molded by his reading of the romantic poets of Lake District, which includes Robert Southey, William Wordsworth, and S.T. Coleridge. His interest and fascination for native nature stems from his direct and close contact with it when he was sent to his uncle Arthur Johnson at Bhagalpur. Now you see the typical spelling there, that's actually the spelling that the Englishmen used to use for the present day Bhagalpur, who had an indigo plantation. His poems show his veracity in the various aspects of native nature, often also with contradictory presentations when he describes how nature is wonderful in creating the atmosphere of tranquility, echoing Wordsworth, and how nature can create havoc, in echoing Byron. Furthermore, he narrates ordinary things of nature like leaves, flowers, trees, like Wordsworth, and brings out the spiritual aspect. This concept of nature is not confined to a particular thought, but it is a combination of ordinary, spiritual, supernatural, mystical, transcendental, and intellectual presentations of romantic poets. Identifying such traces are influences of English Romanticism on Derozio or on his concept of nature does not, however, minimize the excellence, the richness, and the greatness of Derozio as a gifted poet himself. I will take two examples of nature poems here. One, I'm taking Morning After a Storm, which was written in two parts, and both the parts portray nature in two various effusions of romantic poetry. Now, in the first part, Derozio observes the havoc created by the storm and takes cognizance of nature's power. The havoc caused by nature is minutely detailed by Derozio, who seems to be following structurally destructive nature of Byron. However, like Wordsworth and Coleridge, he, being a lover of nature, appreciates nature's beauty in the second part and exclaims, "O nature, how I love thy face." The second is A Walk by Moonlight. It's written exclusively on nature. The poet portrays a night which was the best of all nights. In the poem, the speaker was out the previous night to meet his friends. All three friends went for a walk, wherein Derozio captures the grand connection of the moon's governing of nature. The moon stood silent in the sky and looked upon our earth. The clouds divided, passing by, in homage to her worth. His picturesque description of supreme influence of moon felt by the elements of nature creates mysteries when he writes, "There was a dance among the leaves, rejoicing at her power, who robes for them of silver weaves within one mystic hour." Now, if you have any questions on Derozio, you might put it in the segment below and I shall do my best to answer them. Thank you.